But as bad as Trump is in their mind, I said this months ago, they're going to start with the rhetoric. They're going to say, Ron DeSantis is worse. I said it months ago. I said there's two words. There's two words they're going to start adding to all of their stuff. They're going to say, he's worse. And I was right. Play clip number 6.
What does it say about the Republican Party that the next guy down is Ron DeSantis, who is running the most openly fascist campaign I think I've ever seen? And I'm saying that having covered Donald Trump running for president. That's the next guy down.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you're inside the DeSantis war room, you got to think of a way to get yourself indicted to get up ahead of Donald Trump. This just goes to my point that this is what the party wants to be. And it's a hard thing for a lot of us who worked in the party to accept that we helped create this monarchy. But we did. And this is very purposeful by the party. It's not something they stumbled into. Their second choice is a guy who is worse than Trump.
There it is.
It's a threat to what it means really to be an American. And I think we have to realize that and address it accordingly.
She said that's the most fascist campaign she's ever seen. And she covered Donald Trump. Now, I would love to hear her definition of fascism. And I would love to see what her examples of fascism that are a part of this campaign. And this talking head wants to say they have lost the idea of what it means to be an American. Please educate me on that. Please tell me what is so fascist about these campaigns that we have lost touch with what it means to be an American. I want to hear your definition not only of fascism, I want to hear your definition of what it means to be an American. Because I'm sorry, the idea that you can redefine everything in order to fit your political narrative. So you want to have an abortion, you call that women's health care. You want to mutilate children, you want to call that trans health care. You want to call it gender affirming care. You change the language to make this stuff fit so everybody feels good and happy and sassy about the whole damn thing. But at the end of the day, it still is what it is, no matter how much you change the language. And when we call it what it is, you're going to tell us that we are fascists. Because we say, hey, you know what? You shouldn't cut the dick off a kid. You shouldn't cut the genitals off a kid. You shouldn't do that. Like, that's dangerous. That's going to have long-term, long-life repercussions that the kid's never going to get over. And maybe you ought to let that child wait until they're an adult and they've got to develop prefrontal cortex so they can make a rational decision. Because believe it or not, when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, I thought I knew everything. But believe it or not, I really didn't know a damn thing. But I would argue with you about it. So when we say, hey, let's let that kid grow up and make that decision, rather than you, doing, some parent with Munchausen syndrome by proxy, where you're playing off some oppression on top of a kid and playing your symptoms through them and wanting to appear like woke so you can pat yourself on the back by the DEI culture that we've embraced somehow in America. And I call those things out and say you guys are bad parents for wanting to do stuff like that, and I'm a fascist. I want to have legislation in a place where a guy can't dress up like a woman and go in there and provocatively swing his genitals in front of a child's face at something, that they call a Christmas party. And I want to pass legislation that says you can't do that. It's illegal to put that in front of a child, and you're going to say, oh, this is a fascist idea. Well, I got choice words for you on that one, and you can all the way off, because I don't think that has anything to do with what it means to truly be an American. I want to be left alone. I want to govern my own life. I want to make sure that I'm protected, my family's protected, my children can grow up in a safe environment, and they can have a future to be proud of and live a long, fruitful life. That's what I want. I want freedom. I want liberty. I want people to do whatever they want to do in the confines of their own home, as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. I want you to be free as an adult to make the decisions that affect your life, as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. I'm just saying that's what I want. Now, if that makes me a fascist, I literally want to be left alone. And you guys keep pushing, you guys keep poking, and you guys keep prodding the bear. And the bear has let you go on for so long because, again, some of this libertarian ideology that I'm saying right now has gotten us into this bullshit. Because what happens is, we said, hey, you do what you want to do as long as It doesn't affect anybody else. But you took it one step further, and now you're doing stuff, you're making decisions that actually are affecting other people, and we're calling you out. And somehow we're fascists. So I'm sorry, I'm not bowing down to the talking head progressive rerees that say this is the most fascist campaign ever. But I told you what they were going to say. I told you they were going to say that Ron DeSantis is worse. That is going to become the rhetoric. They had to turn him into the ultimate fascist.